sometimes as a woman, I have put aside what I felt in my own heart because I want to please. That's a part of my nature too. I want to please, but I want to please while still being true to me. So I think that when people see me, it's like, oh, what's happening with Vic over there? She's embracing this natural stuff for real. And it just lets them know that, hey, you are beautiful, whoever you are. You ain't got to do all of this other stuff that we have been taught to believe that that's how beauty is defined.
Sorry, I just realized we were not recording.
Oh, girl, we ain't gonna go back over all this.
Okay, we'll see.
Let's continue. To answer your question, respecting people wherever they are, and me just being true to who I am. So if you having a bad day, that's your bad day. I'm not going to receive your bad day. So that is going to be a challenge because I want people to have a good day. Right. But it's okay. Right. So just letting people be who they are as I let myself be who I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So do you feel like you've had any setbacks on this journey, or do you feel like it's been pretty smooth? Or I wouldn't say smooth, but
absolutely not. I've had setbacks for sure. It was a setback having to get my hair taken down and redone, pay the money. I'm not sure if I'm going to recoup any of my money back. Go to someone else and start it all back over. I forgot to ask Anna, I need to call her too. That was a setback for me. It was a setback trying to work with how I do my hair with me being all over the place. I'm just all over, meaning traveling. I'm leaving on Monday for Belize, and then we come back on Sunday, and then I leave again on Thursday for the Holy Land for 2 weeks. So I'm going to be gone. So, and then when I come back, I'm going to California, and then so I'm going to be gone pretty much more than I'm here.
Well, let's see if I can kind of recap based on what I heard, because that's basically what I have to go off of is my own memory.
Okay.
So it sounds like in the beginning of your journey, you've always had beautiful hair.
Yeah.
And you've never really had any problems with your hair, but societal pressures of straightening your hair and doing the perm thing convinced you that you needed to do the same.
Yeah.
And so your active lifestyle, being sweating and things like that is kind of what shifted your thinking in terms of, I need something different.
Yeah.
I need to do something new because I want to be able to keep my hair looking like I want it to look.
Right. And still maintain my active lifestyle.
Right.
That was very important to me. And doing all these things, you always want to look your best. So trying to work with it so that, even with it as it is, as I'm learning, being okay with it being whatever it is. So those are setbacks. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Continue. Yeah.
And the thing that you decided you were not going to do, you were not going to cut your hair.
Right.
And there was something else you said you were not going to do.
And I was not going to continue flat ironing my hair.
Flat ironing.
I wanted to discontinue that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you decided when you were in the military that when you got out, you wanted to get locks. But the journey to come into locks took a while.
Yeah, it did.
And you had different people that came into your life, mostly complimentary.
Yeah.
People complimenting your hair. And that was one thing that you were wanting to make sure that you felt like your hair was still beautiful, but also being cognizant that other people were noticing whether or not your hair was beautiful. And you did notice a difference when you
Yeah.
got locks,
Yeah.
that there was a shift in people's perspective
That,
of beauty and your hair.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you did talk about, us coming together and how
Yeah.
you were able to connect with Anna, who you
Right.
love and adore as your
Right.
conscientious and hardworking and
Yeah.
client-centered loctician,
Right.
who
Absolutely.
helped you out of that setback of
Mhm.
finding someone who was not professional,
Right.
and then teaching you how to really take care of your hair.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then also minimizing, trouble spots, a balding spot in your hair,
Right.
and just doing it right, which is something that
Yeah.
you are, that's important to you, making sure things are
Absolutely.
done right.
Yeah.
Let's see. You said you felt like you probably could have done more research
Mhm.
when it came to, figuring out what your next step would be. But you've also felt like in the process, you have developed a growth mindset.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that means that before that, you had more of a fixed mindset. And so some of the experiences that you
Well,
have been
yeah.
having
Yeah.
has helped you with that. Go ahead.
Well, I think that my view tends to be more optimistic. I tend to see the glass is half full, my tank is half full. So I'm more, and that's why I had to chuckle when I did, some of the questions in the book, because it was like, oh, okay, but improvement is always good, because I
Right.
know when I was in my early 20s, I was probably more of a pessimistic mindset. So for sure, this journey has not been the sole contributor of me having a growth mindset. However, as I'm reading my book, it's
Okay.
helping to educate me. And because not only do I want to have a growth mindset, the book is saying that you can help others to also, you can influence others. So that
Right.
is something good, because,
Yeah.
I think pessimism and negativity and being critical and judgmental, all of those things take away from your life. They don't add to your life. So that's what I mean. Okay.
Yes.
It's there. Yeah.
So that was one thing that you mentioned too, is that you're a very outgoing people person and you talk to a lot of people, and when you and you love hair. And
Yeah.
so when you see people and you see hair and you see something you like, I mean, I've witnessed this. You are first ready to make a compliment, ready to, ask a question.
Yeah.
Yes. And be very engaging in terms of
Yeah.
that. So it
Yeah.
makes sense to me that it's important to you to be able to impact others. But
Yeah.
talk to me a little bit more about what you foresee as your impact on this journey from where you are now.
That's a good question. I really haven't thought about it, but what I do think, that even when we're not speaking, our example speaks for us. So those, especially who have known me for years, and they see me like, where's Vickie? Where did this come from? This is another side of me that they didn't know. And one thing for sure, I'm on my journey of being true to me. And I know being true to me ultimately means being true to the God I love. And sometimes as a woman, I have put aside what I felt in my own heart, because I want to please. That's a part of my nature too. I want to please, but I want to please while still being true to me. So I think that when people see me, it's like, oh, what's happening with Vic over there? She's embracing, this natural stuff for real. And it just lets them know that, hey, you are beautiful, whoever you are. You ain't got to do all of this other stuff that we have been taught to believe that that's how beauty is defined. Because baby, long as you feel beautiful, you know your beauty where you are, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. So that's where I am. That's where I am. Yeah.
And you're quick to tell people they are beautiful. Yes. You're good at that.
So you've been around me long enough to know, like, this is just Vickie. She, even though it seems like it's extra sometimes, but this is just how she is. This is just Vickie. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad we're getting to know one another better. Right?
So tell me about how you handle that experience then when you had a negative comment about your hair since your locks installed.
So the most recent one, since I was with my family and with my daughter, this just happened when I was in Huntsville last week. So my daughter, in talking to me, her efforts were to affirm me. That's what she meant to do. But my daughter is one, she don't understand the journey that I'm on. And she don't understand the process with all of this. And she really don't like it, because my daughter is one who saw all the different things I did with my hair before. So she means well. So in her case, I haven't really said anything about it, because I'm now in a place where you can say, I like it better when it's up. You can say that. Maybe you don't mean the other side. Because it's down, you don't like it. Maybe that's not what you mean. I don't really know what you mean, but for real, it doesn't really matter, because this is me being true to me. And when the other person that I, specifically remember right when I first got my hair done, she felt comfortable within her own self to say to me that she didn't like it. She said, no, she didn't say she didn't like it. She said, why did you get your hair done? I like your hair like it was. So, indirectly, she didn't like it. I can't really address how she feels. That's her opinion. Okay. But what I do know, she wears a weave. She's been wearing a weave ever since I known her. And I didn't even know it wasn't her hair until one day I said, oh, your hair is beautiful. And I did like that. And I learned she had a weave. So what I would say, if given the opportunity, she has to work on her own opinion or definition of beauty, because she wears a weave, and I'm sure that people don't even know it unless they do what I did, because I didn't know. But that's where she is. So I'm good. I mean, I heard her, and I don't know if I thought, wow, you feel comfortable enough to say that to me. I don't know what I was thinking. All I know is I retained it, but it don't matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Right. So, do you feel like God had a purpose for this journey for you?
I think God had a purpose in you and I meeting. And I think one of those purposes was me being at the place I am, so I could be in the place I am in relationship with Anna, and maybe even with you. But because Anna is who takes care of my hair.
Yeah.
Maybe if I hadn't met you on that day in 2020, was it 21 or 22? I need to look at that. This 23, 21. It had to be 21, right?
21. Yeah. That's when we moved.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so see.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's 21.
It wasn't
2 years. Last year. Yeah.
It's been 2 years.
It'll be 2 years, I think, in June, for real.
Yep. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. I think so too.
Yeah. I remember, I don't know if I told you about that experience, but I remember being so frustrated about my new neighborhood, walking in my new neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Lord, I don't know that I can do this. Like, I feel there's just this really uncomfortable feeling. And then you walk up behind me and I was like, okay, thank you.
I'm like,
Okay.
hey, girl. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Oh,
Yes, you
I
did.
was acting like, ooh, somebody looked like me over here. I was so happy, girl. I'm telling you. God is good. He's so good.
Yes.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah.
So it's
and
been
it makes
wonderful.
the journey more special too, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being you and being where you were supposed to be at the right time. And thank you for sitting down with me with this interview. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're so welcome.